Have you been back to Iraq since your book came out?
No, 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 I haven't. And I really have no desire to go back. I mean, I went something like, a dozen times between, 2004 and 2007. And it's interesting because, like, once I got through the end of 2007, I really was sort of at the end of my rope. I just had become completely disgusted by everything there. The kidnapping of these people that I knew and all that it stood for, the sort of senselessness of it, and the negligence on the part of the company and the government. It really just sickened me. And, I just reached a point where I really had no desire to go back. And, thankfully the Post hasn't really put me in they haven't, I've been asked whether I would want to go back, but no one has pressed it. And I think people understand that I've sort of, I reached my limit.
How did you hear from any of the people who looked bad in your book?
Of course, yeah. Some, not all. The Crescent Security threatened to sue me a couple times. But they, of course, had no case to stand on. It was all just sort of idle threats, I think. And, I've talked to a lot of the families of the guys who were, the guys who were kidnapped. And, I think it's hard reading for those people, but I think that for the most part, people felt like their family members were portrayed accurately, and even in parts that were, that were difficult, if they were human, they were treated with dignity, and so, yeah, I mean, I guess I have heard from I've heard from a couple people threatened to sue me, but other than that, I haven't heard anything more than that.
Which reactions to your book have you found most interesting?
I think some of the parts about, I've seen, sort of people arguing different ways about, kind of my own personal story and about whether it should have been included in the book. And, many people have argued that it was the wrong place for it, that it had no business being part of it. I totally understand that. It's, but again, for me, I felt like it worked, and, I certainly didn't want to, foist it on anybody, and I didn't want the book to be about me. That was my main concern. But, I just felt like in the end that it was something that needed to be in there. I don't think I would do it with probably any other book. I mean, I wrote a 300-page book about Cuban baseball that I was also intimately involved in certain ways. And, my